Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Sorry it's been so long. Things came up over the weekend and I just got really stressed. And it just making a video just wasn't, I like to be calm and my mind clear when I do these videos. I want to make sure I answer questions right and I'm not a mess. But as you know, if you're a parent with or without special needs children, life gets busy and things come up all the time. So, back at it. I got a question on my first video about what is I.E.P. I.E.P is a program made by the school for special needs children. They don't have to be in special ed because I have friends whose kids have IEPs. They are not special ed. Or they're not in special ed, like restricted classrooms, I should say. But IEP stands for Individualized Education Program. Pretty sure that's it. I'm sorry if I'm wrong. It's either program or I'm pretty sure it's program. I'm gonna use Matthew as an example because he's the only one that I've had multiple IEPs with. Aiden only had one IEP and it was simple because he just started school and there was really not much to it because when you first start, it's basic, just straight to the point IEP. It's split up into different programs. So let's say your kid needs OT during school. They'll have an OT person there at the meeting and we'll set up a meeting. Everybody sits around a table. We'll have whatever therapy your child needs during school. That therapist will be there to talk about their evaluation of your child. It's done at least once a year, at least. Matthew, for example, he used to have speech. He had the behaviorist there, the district's ABA, and his teacher, the principal, the special ed coordinator, myself, and I would also bring either his home ABA therapist or his BCBA, because I had trouble understanding a lot of this stuff because he was my first and I was still new to everything and I was afraid of making the wrong choices. I was afraid of not speaking up and saying things when I was supposed to, you know. When you're new to all this, just like when you're a new parent and your kid finally starts school, you trust that the teacher knows what they're doing. You trust that the principal, you know, you put your trust in these people with your child. And my kids, unfortunately, did not talk. So, I had really bad anxiety with how they were being treated in school. Sorry, I didn't realize I was that close. How they were being treated in school because they couldn't come home and tell me that, you know, oh, so-and-so is being mean to me or whatever. Or they did this to me. I would just go with what they were putting on the IEP. And it sucked. I wasn't allowed to come and watch or volunteer at the school in the classrooms because it was a distraction, which I understood because, I mean, I'm sure if I was there all the time, Matthew wouldn't work, you know, because when they were at this new school, I volunteered once a week. And there were times where Matthew just wanted me to hold him instead of his one-on-one being with him, you know. But we got used to it. Eventually, he kind of just, oh, hey, Mom, you know, Mom's here. That's it. You know, I'm going to go play with my friends. So it was good. I got him used to it. But back to the IEP at the old school. So this IEP we set up, we would sit around the table for about an hour talking about his goals, what they want to see by the next IEP, what they expect from him, what they're hoping it'll look like in a year, and what they're worried about. For example, Matthew had very aggressive. He gets very aggressive sometimes when he's angry, which every kid does, especially when they're frustrated. My oldest gets frustrated and angry in class, and he just shuts down. But it depends on the district too you're with, their rules and how they take to aggression and how they let the teachers deal with it. Like if they only give their teachers a certain amount of permissions to handle the situation, kids respond differently, you know? So with special needs, you have kids that have so many different problems. There's kids that don't talk, like mine. There's kids that will not sit in a chair. Matthew used to not sit in a chair. And that was one of the problems in the IEP. His goal was to be able to sit at a desk, do his work, and then go to recess, come back from recess, do more work, and then, you know, then he gets to play or whatever. However, I forgot how their schedule used to go. But he would not want to sit in the desk, not want to do work on certain days. And if he didn't do the work, they would keep recess from him. Well, Matthew has, not sensory, but he needs a break sometimes. Everybody needs a mental break. That's why they give the kids recess in the first place. You know, so the teacher could have a mental break, the students have a mental break, and everyone returns fresh-minded, you know. Those were important for Matthew, his breaks, but he would get them taken away, which would make him more angry, which would cause him to be, they had a quiet corner. It was a cubicle, pretty much, with a beanbag, a weighted blanket, and they call it a body sock. It's like a stretchy body sock. They get inside and it buckles, and they could just be alone and calm. Well, Matthew spent a majority of his time while he was at school. He spent a majority of his time in the body sock, in the corner, not being able to play with friends because he wouldn't do his work. And then he wouldn't eat. So that was a, you know, big thing. We tried to modify his IEP to better help the teacher. I tried to ask her questions like what happened, what triggered this, or, you know, he's here at home, why is he acting like this, what happened at school? And it was always like, oh, I don't know, he was perfect at school, you know, this and that. And then when the IEP would come, oh, he's been breaking stuff, he's been doing this, he's been biting himself, he's been doing that. And it's like, wait, hold on, I've been talking to the teacher every day and not once did she mention this stuff, you know? So it would frustrate me a lot. I finally got tired of it, you guys. I pulled my kid out of the district. You can't argue or fight with somebody who's just not open to change. And I'm sorry, but special ed teachers should expect to modify their teaching based off of their students, because you're never going to have a classroom full of special ed children who are all the same. There's autistic kids out there that, like I was saying earlier, some use PECS really good. Some can communicate with their PECS binder. Some communicate better with their tablets. A teacher is not going to let them be on their tablet all day. So, you know, you're going to have tantrums because they have no way of communicating. You're not going to have kids. There's kids that are afraid of the toilet, afraid of the bathroom, because it sounds different. When they walk into the room, they could hear the piping. They could hear the echoes from the water, like running in the walls. Like, they don't like it, and it's overwhelming. And you can't potty train a kid. You can't force a kid to go to the bathroom with the entire class if they're afraid of the bathroom. Like, it's traumatizing. It's kind of like throwing your kid in a pool without a life vest and saying, you got to swim. You have to. Everybody's swimming. You got to learn. you know, you got to teach them. They learn different. You got to modify yourself. And if you can't do that, you shouldn't be a special ed teacher, honestly. But hey, I'm not one. Whatever. This is my opinion, my freedom to speak on my own thoughts. So if you don't like what I'm saying, oh well. But I am my child's voice. I make the decisions. Matthew technically is not old enough to even have to go to school until they're 5 or 6 for kindergarten. Matthew is 5, but his mentality is at like a 3-4-year-old. So he's barely hitting those terrible like 3 stage. Oh my gosh. And he's huge. So it's like I'm dealing with him telling me no to everything. But back to I.E.P. I.E.P is set up to help you help your children while they're in school. But it does not help if you have a teacher that does not want to go based off the I.E.P. It's my way or the highway kind of deal when you're a special ed teacher. And I have friends that are special ed teachers, and they're amazing. So there's no excuses. If you can't teach preschool special ed, don't go into it. That's all I gotta say. You need a different grade or something. I don't know how that works, but since I took them out of public school, we dropped the I.E.P. We pretty much went one-on-one with the kids, and one-on-one worked amazing. They had peer learning, so they had kids in their classes that weren't autistic, and them being able to see those kids helped them not feel limited. When you have them in a classroom full of only special ed kids, kids that only don't talk, you know, kids that aren't, they have no one to use as an example. So it got better when they had kids their age that were normal. And, you know, they were talking and holding their hands like, hey, come on, let's go to the bathroom. Let's go potty. And they would all go potty together. Matthew started pottying in the toilet. Aiden started washing his hands because all the other kids were washing their hands. He wasn't afraid of water because all the other kids weren't afraid of water. They sat at desks willingly with all the kids because all the kids were sitting at desks. It wasn't like, oh, you know, you're an adult. You don't understand. I don't want to sit at a desk right now. You know, they wanted to be with their friends. And then the lockdown happened, you guys. And it got tough at first. My kids have cabin fever like crazy. No parks, no socializing with their friends, no school. And now we're moving, so they probably won't see their friends again, which is really sad because they made a lot of good friends. And an awesome teacher and their therapist, and it's so sad. And I'm gonna cry again. So let me change the subject. Anyways, thank you for watching. Sorry the video got long again. I keep trying to shorten it and it keeps getting longer. But please subscribe to the channel. I don't care if you like the video. Honestly, it's not a big deal. As long as I can see people are watching it, that's all that matters. I hope I'm answering questions right. If not, I don't mind you criticizing me. Like if I need to work on something, you don't like the lighting, I'll do it. If I'm too close to the camera, I will change it. I'm new at this, so sorry. I'm trying. I'm just trying to get the word out there, you guys, so people aren't so afraid of the word autism. I was afraid at first. My next few videos will be, I'm going to do one for each kid. One of Matthew when we first diagnosed him, what made us diagnose him, what the doctors saw that pushed us toward referrals out to the Mind Institute and whatnot. Like, I'm going to go into details as much as I can. Let me know below if you have any questions for those videos. I will add them into the videos. I am going to do Matthew first. And then after I do Matthew, then I'll do Aiden. And after Aiden's video, I want to do a Q&A with Isaiah, which he is my oldest. He always wanted a little brother. And unfortunately, he got his little brother, but his little brother wasn't able to actually play with him until he was like 5 years old. So, Matthew now plays with Bubba, or Isaiah. They sit there and they play dinosaurs, superheroes, whatever it is they play, and I love it. But I want to do a Q&A for him, so if you guys have any questions for siblings who have autistic siblings, I can do that. Sorry, got interrupted again. Anyways, let me close this video. Yeah, just leave questions below. I'm getting to all the questions that you guys had. I know in the first video there was questions about what did we see first that showed us like, oh, they're autistic, you know, whatever. That's gonna go with the individual videos. Other than that, thank you for watching. Please subscribe so you can see when I post. Also below, I'll leave the link to my Facebook page for this page. And there I post pictures of the boys, their artworks, their Halloween costumes, whatever it is. I post on there a lot. I'm trying to post on there more. Yeah. Excited about this journey with this channel. Pass on the word. I would love to hear from you guys. My email's attached to this page, also attached to the Facebook page. If you want to message me there, I will be there. Thanks for watching, and until the next video, bye.